Go, brother, go.
Go, brother, go.
Yeah, okay.
Shlomo, there are a number of Jews who have found their way to Yiddishkeit, who have been aroused to Yiddishkeit after they have made an excursion through the Far Eastern religions. And my question is this, since it was for them a way of entering into the thing of Yiddishkeit, and that opened the gate for them, what is it that you in your heart would have to say to people who have found their way to Yiddishkeit that way?
This is obvious. This is a question touching the secrets of the world. You know, there's a posuk that says, "Zechar Yomais Olam Binu Shnois Tovador." So, okay, the Chiddush says, "Zechar Yomais Olam." There are days which are eternal, which are always, and then is Binu Shnois Tovador. Understand, Shnois Tovador. Every generation, every year, the changes which every generation is going through, and you know there are a lot of tzaddikim in the world. There are tzaddikim who understand Yomais Olam. There's some tzaddikim understand this understand the changes and the depths which every generation is asked for. What I want to tell you is that before we get into the whole thing, in a crazy way, in our generation we witnessed two ways to God. One was via drugs, and the other one was via Eastern religion. The truth is, you know, there's such a thing as the Chatchilah with the Evet, you know? If someone would say to me, listen, I wanna take drugs to find God, I would say, listen, how do you know find God? Maybe you blow your mind with drugs, you know? But imagine he did already. That means the Rabban Shalom in a very crazy way, in a strange way. And again, I don't know the secrets of this generation, but obviously the Rabban Shalom had a way, and the Rabban Shalom and his infinite wisdom knew that this generation has to get closer to heaven via drugs. I don't know if you remember, Zalman, we were talking towards the end of the drug scene. We were talking to each other that right now we have the biggest chance to get the kids back to Yiddishkeit. But Nebach, you know, what can you do? The whole generation, the establishment was goofing off again. You know, they always like to cry over the past, but they never want to do something. In the meantime, some of the kids, Nebach, especially were turned off from drugs and wheeled to the deepest depths, and they were not definitely after drugs. You cannot turn on to a shallow religion, you know, just on a clock religion, you know. It has to be the deepest depths, and there was no place for them in Yiddishkeit yet. There was no place yet for them the way it was, you know, on the Yomais Olam level, you know. Certainly, if there would be a Shnois Tovador level, if there would be people who knew exactly what the way she wants of us now, but sadly now, what can we do? They could knock on every synagogue and every yeshiva that wouldn't belong because they were deeper than that. So again, in a very crazy way, a lot of Eastern religions moved in. A lot of holy people from the East came in, and I mean, I hope and I pray that eventually, you know, everybody has to find his place. You know, I always say that everybody walking on the same highway, but you have to wear your size shoes. The thing is, what I want to say is that, which I want to tell you, is the Torah of the Holy Ishbitzer. The Holy Ishbitzer says that a Kohen is not permitted to be metamames. A Kohen is not permitted to defile himself on a dead body. And he says because in one of the Torah it says that the greatest defilement of the soul is anger. And it says when you see a dead body, how can you not be angry at God? And he says the Kohen is Tumecha v'recha nishradecha. It says the Torah Yavakshim Pi. I forgot the post. The Torah is the one. The Kohen is the one who's teaching Torah. He says you cannot teach about God if you're angry at God. So I thought to myself in a very, very deep way, here, whatever it was, our generation is angry at God because of the 6 million. And we were not able to teach God to children. Mamish, we didn't. We couldn't. Take it or leave it. We couldn't. So maybe the Rosham and his infinite goodness brought some people from the East who at that moment were not angry at God because nothing happened to them on this kind of tragedy. So they were able to tell our children simply there's one God in the world without anger. But after the anger is over and after you're learning about God, then you really have to go back to your own roots. And what I want to say is that, this is my personal, take it or leave it. Mount Sinai is not just a way of knowing God, because there's two ways of knowing God. You can know God because there's the world, because you're holy, because you're sweet. And then it's knowing God from Mount Sinai, a different kind of knowing, completely different kind of revelation God. I mean, the word is a revelation also, but it's a different kind of thing, completely. I have no words to describe it, and this is also not the place and the time. But I can only say that all those kids who tasted God from other religions, because other religions, they're on the level of knowing God via creation or via revelation, which is part of creation, which is within the framework of creation. I hope and I bless them that they should get back to Mount Sinai and hear God's revelation on a pure revelation level.